So let's start now. We're going to start with this intro, which goes like this. So it starts with that kind of driving rhythm. Now what's going on, it's all just the open string, the low. Now this, in this case, the D string. But I'm still going to call the string names out by their standard pitch names, just so it doesn't get confusing. So you don't have to be thinking that much. So we're going to be muting with our palm muting down here, right against the bridge, the low open 6th string. And we're going to be picking this rhythm. So we have, starts with 1 hit, and then we have a little up down. Do that one more time. Then we just have 5 hits, just straight down strokes. One more time. And then we do another up down on it, a little quick up down. So far we have this. And now we start everything over again. As soon as you get this couple little parts, it's pretty much just straight, and then you have a little da-dum-bum, little upbeat in there. So that right there, as long as you get those feel down and just listen to it, it's pretty easy to just follow along with the rhythm. They start the song, they kind of slide down into it from around the 15th fret. Now you see how I'm going down, up, down. Just when it's doing that little pause feel. So it's just going to be down, up, down, 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 down. It's essential to kind of mute it a little bit, but still let it have a vibration that sustains to it after you hit it. Now it's not so killing it out. Okay, then we come to this note. We've got a lot of whammy work in this song. And that's just holding the 2nd fret on the G string. And the whole next part is going to go like this. Alright, so we got that 2nd fret just kind of randomly doing dive bombs with it, with the whammy bar. Then we come to the harmonic here at the 7th fret on the G string. And just do a series of quick dive bars and bring it back up to pitch and do it. So you're just doing a series of quick dips. And he does that on every single harmonic that he plays. So after that 7th fret on the G string, you now hit the 5th fret on both the G and the D strings together. Then back to that 7th fret on the G. And then to the 12th fret on the G and the D strings. So make sure when you're playing those harmonics, you're right over the fret and you're just barely hitting the string. As soon as you pluck it, come off the string so you don't interrupt its vibration of the harmonic. So we got that, and then the second time through the harmonics here, we play, instead of just playing one note on the 3rd string, the G string, we're going to, at the 7th fret, you're going to pick the D and the G at the 7th fret. Then back to the 5th fret, D and G string. Then back to the 7th fret, D and G. And then to the 12th fret. Then we end the intro with a pick slide straight on the 6th string while you do a fret hand slide. So just kind of creates a kind of a random effect, and that leads us into the main riff of the song. Now this main riff of the song is very identifiable, and I'm going to go through it right now. Okay, so it's basically the same thing repeated 4 times. Now what's going on here is we're muting again on the 6th string, a down up on the low E string, and then at the 2nd fret on the low E string, and then the 3rd fret on the low E. So we're just hitting each one twice, just kind of crawling up. Down, up, down, up, down, up. And this last one, we're going to do a chromatic line. We're going to play the 4th fret once, and then over to the open A string with an upstroke once. So this last 2 is the 4th fret on the low E, then with the downstroke, and then upstroke on the A, open A. All right, then we come to this dyad here, which is the 2nd fret on the G, and then the 3rd fret on the B string. Just pick the 2nd, 3rd string, and 3rd string together, and then we come to the 2nd fret at both the B and the G strings together. Then we do that riff that we started with again. And then we come up here to it's an E dominant 7 sharp 9 chord, it's known as being the Hendrix chord. We have the 7th fret on the A string, 6th fret on the D, 7th fret on the G string, and then the 8th fret on the B string. So those 4 strings, hit that twice, a little bit of vibrato on the 2nd one. So repeat that entire thing 4 times, and that's the main riff in the song. So that's what we introduced when the whole band kind of came in together. After this main riff, we go into the actual vocal sections, and here's the first verse. The verse is very simple. It's just this. All right, so we start with the open A power chord, the 5th string open, and the 2nd fret on the D string. Then come to the 3rd fret on the low E string with your 2nd finger. Then back to that open A chord, hit twice with just a down up. Then we're gonna do the same thing, except the 2nd chord now is going to be the open E power chord, the low E string open, and the 2nd fret on the A string with a down up on that. So we have this. And this one's going to end with the E. Do that again. Okay, now the second half of the verse, we start doing some palm muting and a driving rhythm on it. So everything's the same so far, and then we just palm mute that open 5th string with downstrokes, and then now you're on the 2nd one, you're muting the low E string. Repeat that. And then it ends with a hit of 1, 2, 3 on the bottom low E string. So that whole verse rhythm again. Okay, and that takes us into the chorus. Now, that verse riff is played 3 times in the song, but in the third time, which happens after the first solo, there's some fills in it. The fills are overdubs, so this rhythm still goes on underneath it, and there's a guitar overdub over it. But I'm going to play through the third verse, and when it comes to those fills, I'm going to leave from playing the rhythm to actually playing the fill part so you can see where it happens in the actual rhythm itself. Okay, so here we go. All right, so it's just kind of an overdub, kind of. In the beginning, it's really high in the mix, and that last part isn't. So what the first fill is, it's a half step bend at the 12th fret on the B string, kind of a slow bend, and then the 10th fret with vibrato on the B string. Pretty simple stuff. The second fill is this. Now I'm doing 19 to 17 on the B string, and then we have the 19th fret on the B and the 20th fret on the high E together twice, and then back to the 17th fret on the B string. Now those 2 fills right there are really high in the mix, and then you can hear from the distance over that, he kind of has the volume knob down. He does a unison bend, so you're holding the first finger at the 17th fret on the high E, and then the 20th fret with your third finger on the B string. And you're going to bend, you're going to play them both together and bend that 20th fret up to match the pitch on the high E string. But you're going to have your volume down, and then do a volume, so you're going to pick it, and as you're bending up, you're going to raise the volume on your guitar. And then he basically just goes, and that's very low in the mix. It's just kind of layering and just filling up noise. And it's just a hammer on and pull off from the 17th to 20th fret and back on the B string. And then you just end it with that note. Okay? So those fills do happen in it, whether you choose to play them or not, because you do, unless you have a second guitar player, the rhythm will have to completely drop out in order to play them. Okay? So up next, in the next video lesson, we're going to take a look at the chorus and the first solo. So stay tuned for that. Alright, now we've made it to the chorus in Dr. Feelgood. And the good thing is, we pretty much already know it. It's the exact same thing as the main riff of the song for the first time you play the chorus at least. So this chorus is going to be played 3 times in the song. And the first one, you just play the main riff 4 times. I'm sorry, that's twice. And that's it. It goes right back to the second verse now. But with the second and third chorus, we're dealing with a little extension that they do at the end of the chorus. So that full chorus with the extension is going to sound like this. Alright, so the little extension part, after playing the main riff twice, we're going to go to this open G chord. It's an open G power chord, and we get that by playing the 3rd fret on the low E string, and then the 3rd fret on the B and the G and the high E string. You have the 2 middle strings are open, and on the 5th string, you want to mute that with the bottom of your 2nd finger. Just let that, just kind of go over and mute that string so you don't have the A string in there. Then we have the A power chord. Then you come up and grab an E power chord, the 7th fret on the A string and the 9th fret on the D string. And slide that down to the low E power chord. And you tug on those two strings, the low E and the 5th string at the 2nd fret here, 5 times with just heavy downstrokes. So we have this. Now this 4th time here, the extended part here, we, instead of coming up to the 7th fret, we hold the B power chord, which is at the 2nd fret on the A string and the 4th fret on the D string and the G strings. Okay? So after that first, remember the first chorus is just the main riff of the song. The second chorus is the main riff of the song twice, followed by that little extension part we just learned. After that first chorus with the extension part, we have our first solo in the song. Alright, so the first phrase in this first solo is just going to be a unison bend here at the 12th fret on the high E string. So the first finger at the 12th fret on the high E, and the 15th fret on the B string, and you're going to pick that twice while bending up the note on the B string up a whole step to match this 12th fret on the high E. Okay, so just 2 times there. Then we have this phrase. So that's going to be picking the high E string 12th fret, then 15, 14, 12 on the B string. Over to the 15th fret on the G string, which gives us that blues note. Now when you get there, you're now going to do kind of the same lick down the strings. We're going to do from the 12th fret, we're going to do a hammer onto the 14th and pull back off to the 12th fret. And then come over and land on the 14th fret on the D string. And then you're going to do that again on the next 2 strings. So you're already on the 14th fret from landing on that on the D string from landing on that 14th fret, and then start the lick again from that string. Then we're going to shift back to the 10th fret here. We're going to pull off from the 12th fret to the 10th fret on the A string and the G string. And then we're going to end that little phrase with a harmonic, artificial harmonic, and heavy vibrato on the 12th fret on the A string. Now a lot of the pinch harmonics he's doing in this song are pretty random, so they can be hard to recreate, especially when he does some of this stuff coming up. So just try to get the feel and the vibe down. It uses a lot of gain and a lot of reverb and delays and stuff to create that kind of bigger than life sound. So we have. Then we're going to come back here, and this is where we're kind of talking first about these harmonics. You have the 12th fret at the on the G string at the 2nd fret. And he just hit some pinch harmonics, and they're random. He just kind of holds it and releases does the bend, it keeps picking it and releases it while he's doing different harmonics. There's different harmonic points on that G string, and make sure that how do you get that pinch sound, and that is you hit the pick and the flesh of the side of your thumb hit the string at the same time. So that's why they call it pinch harmonics, because you kind of roll or pinch your skin over the edge of the pick, so it'll hit the string at the same time. But it's really just a feel thing, and as soon as you get that, as long as you know the idea of what's happening, it's usually not that hard to get it under your belt, and then you just don't really think about it anymore. And then you pick down to the open, pull off down to the open G string, and use the whammy bar going down. And that's the end of the first solo. So up next, we're going to take a look at the main solo in the song. So it's a lot of fun, so stay tuned for that.